What's up, everybody? Welcome to Last Principles. I am your host, MA, and with this channel, I am going to be sharing with you guys my experiences as a former member of the International Churches of Christ, or better known as the ICOC. I was there for 13 years from October 8th, 2000, all the way through just before Thanksgiving of 2013. Now, I decided to start this channel after a recent interview that I did. Big shout out to the Losing My Religion YouTube channel. She has a segment on her channel called ICOC Shenanigans. I've been following that channel since about 2019, midway through 2019. And pretty much everything that she shared in her videos is something that hit home. Either it was something I could directly relate to, something I experienced myself, or it was something that somebody I knew experienced, or something that I was close enough to it to where I can vouch and say, you know what, that happened, or I can see that happening, you know. But last year, she started doing interviews with other former members, and I thought to myself, should I volunteer to be interviewed? And I went back and forth about it because at first I thought, you know what are the people who, I mean, I still have people who I'm friends with who are there, people who I know, they're Facebook friends with numerous people there, and I started to wonder, what would they think of me if they were to see this interview? Then I kind of snapped back into my senses and I thought, I've been away for 8 years and some change. What am I afraid of? How am I going to get in trouble? Am I going to get discipled? You know, so I'm like, really, who gonna check me? Seriously. So I decided to do the interview, had a great time, had a great time just kind of going down memory lane, for better or for worse, you know, the good and the bad with her. And I started to realize how therapeutic it was for me to talk about what I had been through, not just to talk about it, but to talk about it with someone who had also been through it. I also realized that outside of my wife, who, you know, every once in a while something will trigger me. I don't know, trigger might be a strong word here, but something will spark a memory for me from something that I had experienced while I was at the ICOC, and I'd stop and be like, hey babe, you know, I just had a ICOC flashback, you know, and so I would just kind of, you know, explain to her, you know, what just happened to make me think of this particular thing that I went through, and, you know, she let me vent to her, you know, nothing big. So yeah, other than speaking to her about certain things, and maybe one other friend of mine who is also an ex-member who got out before me, other than that, I really hadn't talked to anybody about it. I just kind of got out and didn't look back. I just got out and just moved on with my life. So on one hand, I don't think I'm really traumatized by what happened, and no shade to anybody who is. That is a legit thing. I know some people personally, and heard stories from people who have been there, who were legitimately traumatized, who were deeply hurt and damaged by their experience there. So yeah, that is no shade to them. That is a legit thing. My heart goes out to you. Hopefully, you know, if you're watching, some of my videos may help with the healing process there. But yeah, I don't think I'm traumatized per se by my experience, but at the same time, you know, knowing that I haven't talked to too many people about it, I started to realize maybe, just maybe, I haven't really fully processed it yet. So I decided to, not just because of that interview that I did, but also seeing so many other people sharing their stories on YouTube. There are a bunch of other channels out there, a few podcasts that I've listened to where people are sharing their stories. Hearing their stories, you know, was therapeutic for me as well. So I started thinking, you know what, I'm just going to do this channel. And on one hand, this is me just kind of getting it all out of my system, you know, just trying to just get it all out, basically. Two, maybe a little bit of self-therapy. You know, again, sometimes it's good to just get it all out and hear yourself say it sometimes. Even as I was doing the interview, as I said things, I was like, wait, I really went along with that? I really co-signed with this? I really was a card-carrying member here and promoted these particular things that, as I look back on it now, I'm like, how did I do that? So yeah, hearing yourself say it can sometimes, you know, bring some clarity to some things. And also, like I said before, hopefully this will do some good to some other former members who haven't yet processed things, who haven't yet healed from it, or maybe it might help some people who are in it right now and are like kind of on the ledge, wondering if they should leave, wondering if it's the right thing for them, wanting to leave but not knowing how, wanting to leave and are afraid to. Maybe this might help some people who have not yet encountered the ICOC and help them steer away from it. If you're studying the Bible right now, this might help you get out while you can. And I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm not here to say, oh no, don't go to the ICOC. I'm not here to tell you to do that, but I am here to, again, share my experience so that you can be well equipped, so you can count the cost, so to speak, before you get into it. Or if this helps you make the decision, you know what, I'm gonna stay far away from that. I'm not touching that with a 39.5-foot pole. So that's why I am doing these videos. And again, I was even apprehensive about doing this, just as I was apprehensive about doing the interview. But again, what am I afraid of? Who's going to check me? The people who I know that are still there, who I'm friends with, they've been rocking with me the whole time. They know what I'm about. They know what my story is. They know why I left, and they still choose to maintain a relationship with me. So to that end, I'm not really worried, So yeah, that's what this channel is going to be about. This channel is not intended to be an ICOC bashing channel. I am not here to throw shade or condemn anybody who is still there. Just like I kind of have to give myself grace for having been involved in doing things that I kind of don't approve of now, I kind of have to give that same grace to people who are still there, because they are where I used to be. So I'm like, I can't, say but so much bad about that. I gotta give grace there, just like I gotta give myself grace. And plus, like I said, there are still people there who I care about, people there who still care about me, people there who haven't judged me, people there who, if they said today, hey, I got this thing going on, can you come support? Hey, I'm having this shindig at my house. Do you want to come over? I'm celebrating this. Do you want to come celebrate with me? There are people there who, if they said that, I would, at the drop of a hat, go and support, go take part in, go and be there for them. But I am throwing shade at the organization. I am throwing shade at the system of, as I go through more videos, you guys will see the reasons why I would not go back. I'm going to share the good and the bad. There are some good things. I mean, there's a reason why I was there for 13 years. It wasn't all bad, but there's enough bad to where I'm like, yeah, I would not go back. I would not, unless it was like completely like torn down and rebuilt without, some of the systemic problems. Yeah, I wouldn't go back. So yeah, that's what this channel is going to be about. For my next few videos, what I'm going to do is, the next video is going to be my indoctrination story, how I got involved. The second video after this is going to be how I left. You guys already know I'm gone, so I don't want to leave you guys in suspense, having to go through a whole long series of videos before you find out how I exited. So yeah, I'm going to give you the beginning, and give you the end, and then after that, I'll give you all the stuff in between, various little topics in between that, things that I experienced, things that some of my colleagues experienced, things of that nature. So yeah, that's what this channel is going to be about. Feel free to share this with anybody who you know who might benefit from it, ex-members, current members, people who have encountered the ICOC. Before I get out of here, I do have to address the elephant in the room, so to speak. There has always been the stigma on the ICOC that it is a cult. This may be Stockholm Syndrome for me, but I still to this day am reluctant to officially call it a cult. If for no other reason than, to save face on my end. Nobody wants to say, oh, I used to be in a cult. Nobody wants to be in a conversation with a random stranger or an acquaintance and be like, oh yeah, did you know I'm a cult survivor? Because that kind of puts a negative stigma on yourself, because it'd be easy to think you was in a cult. Like, how dumb are you? Or how did you let yourself be brainwashed? How did you let that happen to you? And while I get that, and I can kind of think about that myself, I have to remember, a big shout out to, I believe it's What the Flock podcast and YouTube channel. One big thing they say on that, they're both ex-cult members, but one of them is ex-ICOC, the other one, I forget what group they were in. But they say nobody joins a cult. You get recruited into one, right? Nobody goes out and says, oh, I'm gonna join a cult today. Nobody says, oh, that's a cult, I would want to join that. You go into it, not knowing what it really is. You get recruited into it. You get indoctrinated into it. So, and a lot of them, they don't go after sheeple. They don't go after people who are like lowly and unintelligent and that can't think for themselves. As you'll see in some other videos, they go after high-end people. They go after people who are successful, beautiful, influential, intelligent. They go after those people. Or as you're going to hear in some more videos, they go after the sharp people. So yeah, even though I may not say myself that this is a cult, I will, and again, it's because I have people who are still there, who I care about. I kind of, I'm not trying to throw shade at them, but at the very least, I will say that it is a high control group. And as I go through these videos, you guys will see what I mean by that. At the very least, it is a high control group, and I'm also to the point where at least if I were to hear somebody say, "Oh, ICOC is a cult," I'm not gonna argue against it. I'm gonna be like that dude in, I forget what meme it is, but somebody says something, he just kind of like, but yeah. So that's where I am with that. But so do with that what you will. But yeah, that's it for this video. I just want to give you guys a rundown of what this channel is going to be about. Like I said, next video is going to be my indoctrination. The video after that is going to be my exit, and then after that, I'll do a bunch of topics, on individual elements of my experience. I'm also going to have some interviews. I'm going to bring on some other former members and let them share their stories. And again, in hopes that, if you're watching this, you get something out of it, something that'll help you with the healing process if you used to be there, and maybe as a warning if you haven't been there. So yeah, that's it. You guys have a good night. Please hit that like button, that subscribe button, that share button, that notification bell. Leave me some comments. If you want to share your story in the comments, let me definitely do that. If you want to be interviewed, let me know that, all that good stuff. And I'll see y'all at the next video. Peace.